I got chills.
This is the CHRILLCAST.
He's Chris, and I'm Will.
I don't know why I did that.
And this is Throwback Thursdays.
This is the Throwback Thursday.
Oh, nice, nice.
That's a
And
different one.
today we're talking about the 15th anniversary of one of my personal favorite games, Halo 2.
I'm
Not
gonna have
Star
to.
Wars.
I'm gonna have to watch this video and see if I have to cut that beginning part out.
No, it's staying now. Yeah,
Oh
so,
man,
what you want to start off first, Chris?
I want to talk about how finishing this fight just makes me mad. So you should probably start this video instead of me.
All right. Regret, regret, regret. So this is, I don't know, this game came out 15 years ago, and it revolutionized quite a few things. One, it revolutionized online multiplayer. So there were games that you could play online before. There were some systems that actually like had a dedicated service, but Xbox Live and Halo 2 in particular really changed the face of that with the concept of having like a couch co-op, but over live. So if you actually watch the developer commentaries on this, it's actually quite fascinating how they designed the entire ecosystem around this game, and then really created Xbox Live pretty much for this. And then the other games, COD and basically anything else you play on live today can, owes their thanks to that system to Halo 2. And the campaign I also really enjoyed. They revolutionized, or not, I guess not revolutionized, but they changed the formula quite a bit from the first game. So you have dual wielding, you can board vehicles and kick things out, it was amazing when they first revealed that. It was incredible. And there is some controversy with the campaign. I know Chris probably has a little bit to say about that. So
Oh yeah, yeah. So I just want to start off preface this immediately with I really liked the Halo 2 campaign. I just did not like the way it ended.
Mm-hmm.
That was my frustration with the Halo 2 campaign. I felt like I was ready to go take down the Covenant, and they asked him like, Chief, what are you doing? Finishing this fight. And then it just ends, and I'm like,
Yeah. I remember when I got to that, I was like, what? What just happened? Did it just end? That was
is that
so
the game?
abrupt.
That's it? That finishing this fight and there's no end? Like, as soon as I played that, this was my first experience with Halo, alright? I almost didn't buy Halo 1 after that, because I was like, well, it's going to end in a cliffhanger that starts with Halo 2, just like Halo. But no, Halo 1 is great. I
Yes.
love Halo 1. That might be my favorite, next to Halo 3. If you go watch our Halo ranking video, we get into that quite a bit. But
Yes.
Halo 2 is not a bad game. It's no slouch. It's a good game. And it's really what got a lot more people into Halo, and as Will said, Xbox Live in general.
Yes.
It revolutionized online multiplayer shooting games. Because before this, what did you have? I mean, faking a LAN connection over the internet was like the next best thing when this came out. Which I know some people did with Halo 1. They faked a LAN connection with Halo 1 over online to play with each other. So I know people that have done that, actually.
Yep. And we're watching the anniversary cutscenes right now. And, that came out with a Master Chief Collection on its 10th anniversary. And even though there's tons of problems with Master Chief Collection, in my honest opinion, it was worth buying it specifically for Halo 2 Anniversary, because the graphics and the cutscenes look fantastic. I think they look leaps and bounds better than Halo 5.
I would agree.
I don't know what happened, but this game looks better.
It really does. And I think it just comes with the refinement you have, where you're not having to remake all the base models. You're just making the textures so rich that it looks like real life.
Well, the blur animations, I think they recreated it completely. But
Yeah.
the animation, like the actual gameplay, yeah, they just up-resed it. It looks so good.
Well, you already know the scene, right? So you can just make it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they've done different is they added that intro scene, and they added, I think, an outro scene too. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they also updated like a trailer that they had too, which is cool.
Oh, okay. But in general, going from Halo 2 on the Xbox to this was, I mean, it was like a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the Chief in all his glory.
He looks so good there.
He does.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Johnson is back, so who can dislike Sergeant Johnson?
Yep.
They should just take the actual Halo games and make those a TV show.
I know, they should just do this, like this exact animation, and I would watch this.
And stop retconning the characters.
Okay, we don't need to get into...
I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. All right?
Yeah.
You don't need to change every origin story for every character, all right? Mm-hmm. It's been tried every single time with every single game, series, program, video, movie. It never works. Your fans like what they like, which is why Halo 2 Anniversary is amazing, even though it's not my favorite.
I just love it. Yeah.
I cannot hate on what they did with Anniversary. It's so good. 343 did not taint anything with Halo 2 by releasing this game the way they did. Yeah. And a lot of times when you see these remakes, at least prior to this remake, people would try to change something in the remake, and I'd be like, what? Why? No, but this is like this is exactly what I would expect in a remake of a legendary game like Halo 2.
Yeah, and what I appreciated about this one more than the Halo C Anniversary. So I did really like that, the update to that game. I was a little sad they didn't bring like actual Halo C gameplay or a multiplayer gameplay. It was just like a Reach with updated maps. But some of the updated graphics changed the tone of the level. So if you go back to 343 Guilty Spark, in the original game, you're like in a swamp and it's spooky and you can't see very well. But with the updated graphics, it's much brighter. There's lots of glowy bits and things aren't hidden very well. So like there's no fog anymore. You're almost like in a rainforest type setting. So they changed the feel of that level. Whereas in Halo 2, the Anniversary updates, it really doesn't change anything. It just looks better.
They were much more faithful to the original environments.
Yeah, exactly.
I
thought the character models are perfect. I think the people who they chose to be the facial animation for everything and the character models themselves, perfect.
And the fact that the Arbiter looks so much better. Oh my gosh.
I can also tell what the Gravemind is. It's not just a big flappy flower anymore. So.
Oh man, the Gravemind scene is great. Oh, I love the way they did the Grave. I wonder if there's a timestamp on here. Somebody's gotta have a timestamp video, a timestamp thing on here, because Gravemind.
It's got the broken bones and it looks like it's got the skulls or teeth. Oh, it's so good. It's exactly what the Gravemind should look like.
Gosh.
Oh yeah.
It's disgusting and it's awesome. And this scene, in my opinion, is like one of the most iconic scenes. It's like, hey, we all hate the activation of the Halo ring. Let's work together and take it down.
Yep.
It's like the ultimate culmination of three factions who generally do not like each other, have no reason to work together, but have a single unified mission in this particular case.
Yep. I will say there's no build up for this moment, so it was very jarring. But
it was.
The concept is great.
It is. Yeah, in theory, they could have done this scene better, but I thought it was really good the way they did it, because it introduced the fact that the Flood is not a mindless zombie horde.
Exactly.
It's got a unified leader slash. It's almost like a hive mind.
It is a hive mind. So the thing is, I was actually very confused the first time that I saw this, because again, when you look at the original graphics, it's a big flappy flower. I was so confused. I was like, what the heck is this thing talking to us? And like we just get teleported, because it never actually says what it is. It never says I'm the Gravemind or I control the Flood in that scene. So you don't really know what it is until the third game.
I actually didn't mind that though.
When I first played it, I was very confused, because again, I figured it out after reading up on it, and like I knew what was going on, but at first I didn't know.
Yeah, I guess because of my lack of playing Halo 1 first before Halo 2, and then playing Halo 3 after playing Halo 1. I really went back and played Halo 2 after. I guess I did 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. That's how I played the first 2 times I played them, and just based on that, I ended up loving that scene because it made so much sense in my head why they did it that way. Because the first time I played it, it was a nothing scene to me. It's like, this doesn't, whatever, dude. Let's get back to shooting. But then playing it again after 3, that scene was, in my opinion, so great, and so many reasons.
When you take the games all together, great. The first time I saw it, though, I had no idea what was going on, because in the first game, there's really no lore built up around the Flood, other than it's like this all-consuming parasite. So again, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah. And just to discuss the impact of Halo 2, Halo 2 sold the Xbox, and not the other way around. And so did Halo 1, but more so Halo 2. Mostly because of the capability it brought to the Xbox and what the Xbox did as a platform post Halo 2 launch. And
certainly sold Xbox Live.
It's probably one of the most hyped games for Xbox Live in that era of all the games. So let's just talk about what's on everybody's minds right now. What does Halo Infinite have to do to live up to the high marks set by the Bungie era games? Just give me something it needs to do and something it shouldn't do.
Just one thing? I only get one thing?
Yeah. We're not going to have a 20-minute video.
Oh, goodness. I'm not prepared for this. I had a lot more to say. One thing it should do, don't try to be another game. Be Halo. I think that sums that up. Everything I was going to say. Be a Halo game. And what it shouldn't do is really don't reinvent the wheel. You have a good formula. Just you can iterate instead of like change it completely. So my advice is basically the same. What it should do, be a Halo game. What it shouldn't do, don't be a Halo game. Yeah, there you go.
What I think they need to do to really capture Halo is they need to have a linear story that's complete. Okay, you can't have this, oh well, you had to read these books for this exposition, you had to have these comics to understand what happened, you have to understand this backlying story, half the stories in the terminals. No, none of that garbage. Okay, what you have to do is have a complete story from start to finish that's understandable. Maybe give us some extra context if you beat it on Legendary like they used to, or give us the Easter eggs. They were so much fun just having that comical Easter egg with Sergeant Johnson hugging an elite.
Yes,
like stupid things like that, and this is stuff we appreciate. Okay, what you shouldn't do is exactly what I just talked about. Don't kill off the didact in a comic strip. Okay, don't give us 6 pages of exposition in one moment in a game that nobody understands the backstory of. All right, give us a gripping story from start to finish. That's Master Chief. I mean, don't flesh out the Master Chief. He's not a flesh out character. All right, he's meant to be every man's hero. All right, not meant to be this love triangle with Cortana. No offense, Nerd Talk. I do appreciate that storyline, but at the same time, it didn't need to be there for the Halo game to be great. All right, give us.
I think she's supposed to be sympathetic because, like, as a player, you're supposed to care for her.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's weird that they are like hinting that they actually love each other and that they want to get jiggy with it, like they did in the 4th game. That was really strange.
Well, when you think about it, who's been at Master Chief's side this whole time? Like, I can't argue with the fact that in concept that relationship is kind of there, but overall, it just doesn't need to be fleshed out that far. It's obvious that she's the companion he's had the whole time through, and that's true. And it's obvious that he would feel a closeness to her, and he's always had her there. So losing her would be a psychologically almost like a breakdown for most people. I get that. That exposition is there. But then this AI taking over the galaxy thing at the end of Halo 5. I'm like, what?
Yeah, every story has done that. It's such a sci-fi trope. It's very disappointing. So it almost seems that they're going to have a major time jump in the next game. They might just completely ignore that storyline. Maybe that's like the first mission or something that fixes that, and then it completely changes gears. I don't know. The thing is, like we said, like don't kill the didact off in a comic book strip, but I might be okay with them completely shifting gears in one mission and then going off in another direction. I don't know how they're going to make a compelling story with that.
Or they could just have her her program restored.
Yeah.
Just something simple like that. Like we tracked her down, we erased her from the thing, and we restored her to her original state.
Yep.
Boom. Storyline done. All right, let's get on. Let's get on with it. Halo Infinite time.
Yep.
I just don't want it to be a long-term MMO, massive world with a bajillion Master Chiefs walking around like, hey, what's going on, Master Chief? What's going on, Master Chief?
I think an open world could work. I'm just hesitant about it because I no offense 343, but the track record isn't great. So I'm hesitant because going from a linear story to an open world story, that's a big, big change.
And that's not what we want to see.
Again, I'm not going to say never because I think it could work, but I'm very nervous about it.
Yeah. You got any extra things to throw on there? Do you think that Halo Infinite will sell well based on Halo 4 and 5?
Not based on those games. So I think that 343 is doing a lot right. I think they've really fixed the MCC. They put a lot of effort into that, and it's much better and it looks great. I'm excited for Halo Reach coming to PC and to the MCC. Halo Wars 2 was much better, so the lore was okay, but the art style and the way that it looked was great. And then, what I've seen so far with Halo Infinite, the art style seems to be actually looking Halo again. They are definitely having a lot of callbacks to the original Halo music, which I really appreciate. So I'm very cautiously hopeful for that game. And it's launching with the new Xbox, which hasn't happened since Halo 1. So I think that they have everything is set up for them to do really well. The ball's in their court.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. The music in the Halo series is great. If Halo Infinite can live up to Halo 2, then we got a solid game on our hands.
Yes.
Let's celebrate Halo 2 15 years later
on
the CHRILLCAST. Watch us every day, all day.
Do it.
Yes. Please like, comment, and share this video if you enjoyed it. And please subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate every subscriber as we march towards 100 subscribers by the end of the year. As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye.
Ooh.